There's something about watching old footage of Ronaldo Nazario at Barcelona that feels almost unfair. The ease, the smile, the way he glides past defenders who seem to be moving in slow motion.
Without training. Without training. What do you mean? Lazy. No way. Lazy.
It's revelations like this, a genius flourishing seemingly beyond the need for the usual grind, that form the bedrock of the unbelievable story of the best Ronaldo of all time. A talent so raw, so overwhelmingly natural, that the usual rules simply didn't seem to apply, beginning a legend that continues to astound.
But this isn't just a story about talent. It's about what happens when the human body betrays that talent. When 700 days of injury and rehabilitation transform not just a career, but football history itself. This is the story of the greatest what-if in football history. The story of Ronaldo Nazario, the player who, even at 70% of his potential, still became the best striker the world has ever seen.
Ronaldo on the move. It's Ronaldo. Oh, it's a stunner. Ronaldo. Amaga el primer disparo de tierra. Traversone, Ronaldo. Va Ronaldo. Gol. Ronaldo encara Víctor Valdés. Ronaldo.
Before we understand why Ronaldo still makes people emotional, we need to understand what made him special in the first place. Lazy, as Mourinho put it, yet a phenomenon. And there's no better place to start than his 1996 to 1997 season at Barcelona.
Training, enjoying, but not training a method like discipline, just enjoying. Just the Brazilian boy coming from the beach or coming from his local, just to play football. Amazing, amazing.
Let's put this in perspective. In just one season, a 20-year-old Ronaldo scored 47 goals in 49 matches. That's a goal per game ratio of 0.96. For context, in their best ever seasons, Messi averaged 1.22 and Cristiano Ronaldo averaged 1.13 goals. The difference, they achieved these numbers in their prime. Ronaldo, the Brazilian boy from the beach, was just getting started. But it wasn't just the numbers, it was how he scored them. Ronaldo combined technical brilliance with raw athleticism in a way we'd never seen before. His acceleration was otherworldly. He could go from standing to full sprint faster than any player of his generation. His ball control at top speed defied physics, and his finishing was clinical, creative, and sometimes just plain disrespectful to goalkeepers. This wasn't just a great season. This was the football equivalent of watching a supernova, a star burning so bright it was almost unsustainable. And as we'd soon find out, it was. To truly understand Ronaldo, you need to understand what football means to Brazil. This isn't just a sport, it's the heartbeat of a nation, a form of cultural expression, as vital as music or dance. In Brazil, football is hope, it's identity, it's a way out of poverty, and a source of national pride. When Ronaldo burst onto the scene, he wasn't just a talented player, he was the embodiment of Brazilian football's soul. The Joga Bonito, the beautiful game, isn't just a slogan in Brazil, it's a philosophy, a way of life, and no player embodied this more perfectly than Ronaldo. His style wasn't just effective, it was expressive. It wasn't just athletic, it was artistic. When Ronaldo later faced his injuries and fought back to win the 2002 World Cup, it wasn't just a personal comeback. For Brazilians, it was a national resurrection, a symbol of their own resilience, creativity, and indomitable spirit. On November 20th, 1999, while playing for Inter Milan against Lecce, football witnessed one of its most devastating moments. Ronaldo, then 22, and already a two-time World Player of the Year, attempted a routine step over. What happened next would alter the course of football history. Ronaldo suffered a complete rupture of the kneecap tendon in his right knee. For context, this is an injury so severe that many athletes never return to professional sports. But the true cruelty was yet to come. After months of rehabilitation, Ronaldo made his comeback on April 12th, 5 months after his first injury. Just 7 minutes into his return, while attempting a simple move against defender Fernando Couto, disaster struck again. The same knee, the same tendon, another complete rupture. Let's be clear about what happened here. Ronaldo suffered 2 career-ending injuries in the same knee within the span of a year. Medical professionals were stunned. Many declared his career over. 8 months into his recovery, he still couldn't bend his knee beyond 90 degrees. Ronaldo would miss over
over 700 days, nearly 2 full years of his prime. The football world mourned what seemed like the premature end of a generational talent. The Supernova had collapsed.
When Brazil named Ronaldo to their 2002 World Cup squad, many questioned the decision. He had barely played, his fitness was uncertain, his explosiveness, that defining quality, was diminished. The world wondered, could a 70% Ronaldo still make an impact on the biggest stage? He arrived at the 2002 World Cup with a mission. And then there was the haircut, that infamous, ridiculous haircut. The semicircle of hair at the front of his otherwise shaved head became one of the most recognizable images of the tournament. It wasn't just a fashion disaster, it was tactical genius. By creating this visual distraction, Ronaldo diverted media attention away from his knee and the pressure of his comeback. Even his haircut was a strategic masterpiece. What followed was nothing short of miraculous.
Ronaldo! In towards Ronaldo!
Brazil in front. It's Ronaldo. Ronaldo's dummy. Ronaldo. It's 2-0.
8 goals in 7 matches, the Golden Boot, 2 goals in the final against Germany, the 5th World Cup for Brazil, and for Ronaldo, redemption, the perfect answer to 700 days of doubt, pain, and rehabilitation. This wasn't just a comeback, this was redemption on the grandest stage in sports. A player who doctors said might never walk normally again had just dominated the biggest tournament in world football.
Despite missing what should have been the prime years of his career, Ronaldo's statistics are staggering. 414 goals in 616 games across all competitions, 62 goals in 98 matches for Brazil, 2 World Cup trophies, 2 Ballon d'Or awards. But the most fascinating statistic is the one we can never know for certain. What if those 700 days hadn't been lost? What if Ronaldo had maintained his pre-injury trajectory? Sports scientists and statisticians have projected he could have scored over 700 career goals, potentially making him the greatest goal scorer in football history.
The eternal debate about the greatest players often centers on Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, but those who saw the original Ronaldo at his peak, that brief, brilliant window before the injuries, often insist he had the potential to surpass them both.
A combination of speed, power, technique, and creativity that has perhaps never been matched. Later in his career, Ronaldo faced another challenge, one that would unfairly become the subject of mockery. In 2007, while at AC Milan, he was diagnosed with hypothyroidism, a condition that slows metabolism and makes weight management extremely difficult. This wasn't about discipline or laziness. It was about a medical condition that fundamentally changed how his body functioned. What makes Ronaldo's later career so remarkable isn't just that he continued to play, it's that he continued to excel. Even as his body changed, his technical brilliance remained. The touch, the vision, the finishing, these things never left him.
The media wasn't always kind. The jokes and memes about Fat Ronaldo became common, but those who understood football knew they were still watching greatness, just in a different form. Even in his final years at AC Milan and Corinthians, Ronaldo could still produce moments of magic that reminded the world of his genius. His body may have changed, but his football brain was sharper than ever.
What Ronaldo lost in pace, he made up for in intelligence. His positioning, his timing, his ability to read the game, these qualities allowed him to remain effective even as his physical capabilities changed. It was yet another example of his extraordinary ability to adapt and overcome. But Ronaldo's legacy can't be captured by statistics alone. What made him special, what still brings tears to the eyes of fans, was how he played the game.
Where I came from, we were watching a lot Ronaldo the Fenômeno, the Brazilian. For me, he was not playing football, he was football. And that's why, for me, he was the perfect player.
There was a purity to Ronaldo's game that transcended competition. He played football with the unbridled joy of a child, combined with the skill of a once-in-a-generation talent.
This joy is what inspired a generation of players. Cristiano Ronaldo even named himself after the Brazilian phenomenon. Kylian Mbappé has spoken about studying R9's videos. Neymar called him his childhood hero. Now we arrive at the question that haunts football fans. What if? What if his body hadn't betrayed him? What if he'd had today's medical technology? What if we'd seen a full decade of prime Ronaldo Nazario?
For me, Ronaldo, Brazilian Ronaldo, has been from a different species. But I think that nobody has been able to unite speed, strength, vision of the game, execution, and be concrete.
The best football player I have ever seen on a pitch. And that year in Barcelona was crazy. I think injuries killed a career that could be even more incredible.
The what if will always linger around Ronaldo's career. But perhaps that what if is part of what makes his story so powerful. The glimpse of perfection, the cruel intervention of fate, and the resilience to still achieve greatness despite it all. Maybe it's the imperfection of his career, the contrast between what was and what could have been, that makes us appreciate what we did see even more. The story of Ronaldo Nazario isn't just about football. It's about human potential and its fragility. It's about resilience in the face of devastating setbacks. A player who faced career-ending injuries not once, but twice, battled a metabolic disorder that changed his body, and still came back to conquer the world. It's about adapting when life doesn't follow your script. And most of all, it's about finding joy in the journey, regardless of the obstacles. His legacy isn't just in his numbers, though they're remarkable. It's not just in his trophies, though they're plentiful. It's in how he made people feel when they watched him play. The phenomenon may have left the pitch, but the phenomenon of Ronaldo Nazario lives on, in the memories of those who watched him, in the players he inspired, and in the pure, unadulterated joy he brought to the beautiful game. If this video brought back memories of the phenomenon for you, hit that subscribe button and join our football community. Share your favorite Ronaldo moment in the comments below. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss our next deep dive into football's greatest legends.